Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Gyro here once again with another horrific vision of Orgrimmar run for you, where I will be demonstrating to you how the Mask of the Long Night works on a very modestly geared Demon Hunter, in this case 447 Cloak level, Cloak rank 11. I do have Gift of the Titans and this was intended to be a full clear. Now, after this kind of prelude that was mostly said for people who are perhaps new to this channel, I'm a casual who pushes horrific visions solo, and I welcome you to join this little club in case you are considering different alts or just simply want to see how a modestly geared casual person kind of fares in horrific visions these days in World of Warcraft patch 8.3. And yeah, I think that's as much as you need to know about this channel, and you're most welcome to subscribe to show your support, and that's much appreciated. Now, to my regulars who have already probably seen my full clear with one mask, and that was the Mask of the Burned Bridge, I made multiple references to this run. I made multiple references to this run as the failed one, as the failed attempt, because the Mask of the Long Night that I have right now on, it was my first mask. It was the mask that I got after the first full clear with no masks. So please assume, so kind of understand that the background footage and all this attempt, the whole push, is basically a 4-chest clear that has failed, that it is a failed attempt at a full clear, and it was always intended to be so. It was always attempted to be a full clear, which is why you see all these brave pulls, which is why I'm not trying to turn this into a guide, because it hardly is. I failed in the end. But I thought about recording that other video and talking to you guys kind of virtually here, commenting. And then I thought, you know what? I think you will benefit from actually me expressing also my opinion on the Mask of the Long Night, because I do not honestly believe right now that I am comfortably going to push for another clear in this mask just to try to make it. Does it make sense? So all I'm going to probably do is I'm going to try and beef up my Demon Hunter further, or maybe try other masks. But generally, I think for this kind of solo casuals clearing horrific visions little club, if you like, of this channel, I think for us there is some benefit in simply sharing information in the comments down below, and for me to produce these videos for you guys, where I express my opinion and I demonstrate to you what this Mask of the, specifically in this case Mask of the Long Night, or other masks, what they will feel like in action. That, I think, is like, what's the saying? I'm not a native English speaker. What's the actual saying that says, you know, forewarned means armed, basically, right? So I'm forewarning you as to how these masks work. So if nothing else, then this is what you're gonna get out of this video. It's not pretending to be a guide. Alright, after this lengthy context setting and disclaimer, let's see what's happening here. So, Mask of the Long Night is... I do not have all of them yet, and I started reading about them on Wowhead, just like everyone who is trying to push Horrific Vision solo. I believe is probably the hardest one, at least at the moment, that I haven't experienced others just yet. Yes, I know that there are some really horrible masks like Daredevil, which we're going to be reviewing very shortly. Subscribe if you would like to not miss that little chat that we're gonna have soon enough. But sanity is our most important commodity in this content, isn't it, guys? So we have 1,000 points of sanity normally given to us. There are even talents that are allowing us to boost that by a little bit, increasing sanity by 50, by 50, by 50. And everything, basically all the good talents, cranial defibrillation, well, less so, but cranial defibrillation, elite extermination, gift of the titans, all the good talents are built around maintaining that sanity, replenishing that sanity, etc. So this talent takes away 50% of your sanity. You are running around in this relatively hard content at this item level. Please do not lose context of what I'm saying to you, because needless to say that if you are running around in 465, 470, situation is very different, right? You're practically mowing things down, as we've seen in many 5 mask clear videos that are now emerging on YouTube, and every day there is more and more. As I keep saying, and this part is mainly, again, for my new subscribers, for people who maybe haven't been watching every single video, that's kind of, well, disclaimer-like thing. I don't want to come across as disrespectful to those people. I do respect their achievements, I do understand that they've been running harder content than I have as a casual, and they deserve all these clears and all that kind of stuff. But again, contextually it's irrelevant to me because I am a casual person and I'm addressing mainly people who are also casuals just like me. People are within, you know, 440, 450 item level range. So, when at this item level range, half of your sanity is taken away by causes that cannot be replenished, by something that cannot be, you know, replenished through a talent, cannot be regained, you just don't have that buffer. Basically, you don't have the buffer. The main guide-like thing that I want to tell you and the insight into what this mask is about, it's that you don't have much of a room for error. So if I get stunned, you've seen my clear of Stormwind, you've seen some other clears where you saw that my health or my sanity goes really low and I'm pushing it very hard to compensate for my lack of DPS at this item level, right? So I stretch as much as I can, as I'm sure you do. Well, in this case, what you have to expect, obviously, but now it's going to be very much in your face with this video, what you hopefully will kind of get from this, is the fact that you basically have, well, use whichever measurement units you want. It's not just even necessarily about sanity points, it's just about percentage here, right? You have half less of whatever that buffer is that keeps you afloat within Horrific Visions. And that's basically it. The talent, the mask is as simple as that. In addition to that, every single mask is making the enemies 25% tougher and they hit you 25% stronger. So that is, to be honest, compared to losing half of your sanity, that's nothing. That really did not stress me out too much. And now we will go a little bit more, so from the general context setting and me kind of expressing my overall opinion about this mask and generating this expectation for you guys. Speaking about what's going on the screen, you see that at this stage I'm still doing my best to push for a full clear. I'm still doing my best. It is Orgrimmar, it is easier than Stormwind, and this week, apparently, not apparently, quite evidently, and everybody agrees with this, it's not a subjective opinion, it's pretty much a fact, the madnesses, so the techniques, the stuff that's going on there, they are a lot more forgiving than they were last time. Now here you saw that I lost cranial defibrillation. Why? I haven't done anything super wrong. I haven't. That's kind of my normal performance. Whether it's good enough or not, that's a separate question. But this is something for you to be aware of. Somewhere where you expected to be stunned here and there a little bit, maybe just, you know what I'm saying? In this case, with this mask, your buffer of forgiveness, your buffer of how much you have to play with is halved. It is, you really feel it, guys. You really feel it. At 447, I was doing okay, as you know, on the other videos you see it, I was doing okay with 1000 sanity, and sometimes I know that this is going to be tough, say Rexa, and I am replenishing with the orb just before the fight, I get the whole buffer of 1000 or close to it, and boom, there I go. But in this particular case, that bloody, you know, mask that takes away half is hurting you more than you can ever imagine. Like, more than you can ever imagine. This is not fear-mongering, this is me talking to my people who are casuals just like me. I simply want you to be prepared. If you are, so here is my advice. Now we come to advice and tips, or whatever you want to call it. I think, while you and I are both just pushing content solo, and while we are trying to maybe beef ourselves up a little bit, gain a few extra item levels, I mean by that, yeah. Now, for clear with one mask, as you saw from my other video, Mask of the Burned Bridge, which was annoying but nowhere near as annoying as this, for the full clear with one mask, you get a 450 item, yeah. So I reckon, here is what I'm gonna do, after demonstrating this to you, I am probably going to shelve this mask for a while until I've gained those extra, say, 5 item levels, when there is some marginal difference, marginal increase in my power that I will start seeing. And I obviously in the meantime will also put some extra talents into beefing up my sanity, base level sanity within the Mother's Archives talents. It's not going to be much, but it's going to be like at full, all of the talents in, it's going to be plus 150 sanity, which is not much at all. But I'm going to do all of that, and then I'm going to try the mask again. In the meantime, though, what I'm going to be doing, and what I recommend that you do if you are around my item level, pick another mask. I actually don't think that the Burned Bridge is too bad. I think that the Burned Bridge mask is actually fine. And start collecting those 450s. Start buffing your item level in a casual sense. Yeah. And once you start feeling a bit stronger, once you got a piece of gear here and there, once you can not just compensate by skill, compensate by knowing these runs, but once you also simply have stronger character, just pumping out more DPS per se, I think that's when you could probably consider this mask. Otherwise, well, again, you will see, like if you're watching this closely enough, you will see that the run was going, well, okay. Aside from me losing cranial defibrillation to the big guy, but don't forget that that is also the hardest area. That is also the hardest area of Orgrimmar. So losing cranial defibrillation certainly takes away that sense of, look, if there is an oh crap moment, at least I have something to bring me back. But I already am past that point at this stage, so I already have used up that ticket. Now, beyond that, I'd say as long as you understand that the room for error practically doesn't exist here, you really need to be very, very, very careful and try and not get stunned. For example, this dude, if you stay on top of him like that, he doesn't hit you with that beam of shadow energy, whatever that blast is called. Did you see? This time he didn't push me away. So that's a pointer. So things like that, I am not very good at them yet. But basically, these are the things where you and I both can probably start, if we pay attention to those and try to execute everything, if not perfectly, then close to perfectly, then that is exactly where we can win those extra, cut those extra corners, if you like, right? And make sure that that significantly reduced sanity baseline is not going to hurt us too much. For example, here is an arrow, right? I didn't kill the guy with the beam, that one, yes, this guy, who needs to always die first. And nothing happened here, but just example. It's just an example. So errors like these, they will all add up to us dying at some point, or losing cranial defibrillation, or doing something like that. And that's what I generally think. Now, additionally to that, what you will also notice is that at the very beginning of the run, what I didn't comment on this because I was giving you other context. What I did was I ran into that hut and checked for the bad liquid. The bad liquid that I cannot drink, the one that drains sanity during the run. I did that obviously so that I know which ones to pick up. I did that obviously so that I can start basically working out which liquid is gonna give me sanity instead of taking away sanity, yeah? And yes, I'm very much aware of the add-ons that basically as soon as you find that bad liquid, apparently there is some algorithmic programmatic correlation between the bad liquid and it immediately tells you which color would be a good one. Sure, once I start optimizing even further, I probably will also install that add-on, and I've seen already many videos where people just run with that add-on. It looks ugly as hell on the screen and occupies some real estate, but I cannot refute its usefulness. Definitely useful. And no, I do not have that. So basically, it's pretty obvious that I am not optimized as much as I should be. Yeah. But what I'm leading this tirade to is to the fact that I think smart use of these liquids when you are under the effects of the Mask of the Long Night, smart use of the liquids should be a priority. I did not make it my priority. Yes, I was looking for them, as you see, but I didn't have that add-on. I didn't maybe pick up even every single bottle to just make sure that I have all the positive effects, maximizing my output and just making sure that I'm, as strong as I can be. But I reckon you should, and I reckon I certainly will next time. So these are learnings that I'm very willingly sharing with my people here This is something that also settles with me better. It helps me learn better when I talk it through. So it's kind of, it's almost therapeutic to some extent. So if you share these thoughts and if you think that that does help you, first of all, share your impressions and share your own experiences with the mask if you're anywhere near our casual item level range. I want to hear also from people who are much better geared. I do. But at the same time, you just have to understand that with all due respect, I take it all with a grain of salt, because being 447 is very different from being 470, and that's that. So yeah, to summarize, because we're coming close to the end of this run, to summarize, I think that given my non-existent optimization of this run, I didn't do everything I could, and I should have, but given that fact, I think, to be honest with you, I was going okay. I was going okay. Tell me if I'm just lying to myself. Tell me what you think. What does it look like to you? But to me, it seems like it was all right. Where I make a mistake is on Rexxar. Rexxar, I didn't underestimate him, but for full clears without masks, he's not too bad. There are much worse bosses. But in this particular case, his numerous pets stunned me. He himself dishes out respectable amount of damage as well. And I basically, yeah, I messed up there, I think, a little bit, and that's just what happened. You saw right now that Shadow Meld worked. The Shadow Meld trick that I told you about in the previous video worked very well this time. So that's quite nice. For Night Elves, of course, not everyone has it. So you just run past the first groups, and then in the free clearing there, between this group and the previous one, you press Shadow Meld, you break combat, you go into the stealth, and you don't need to clear every single group. So that was very nice. And I was so close from victory. But right now, let's just see what happens with Rexxar. So see those also, his pets are bumping me towards his traps. If you step into a trap, that's at least a 3 or 4 second stun. If you stand in the purple, that's a drain of sanity 9 at a tick, and if you stunned, you cannot move, obviously. So that's something that we need to constantly move here, and boom, and I'm dead. He probably just delivered like his last blast of whatever. I didn't catch actually what kicked the last bit of sanity out of me. But that's the run for you guys. So that's the Mask of the Long Night. Please beware in my casual item level if you are similar to me. These are 4 chests. Let's take a look at the very modest rewards. At the very least, I got those items needed to upgrade my cloak, which allowed me to upgrade my cloak from 11 to 12, and then I had that full clear that you're welcome to watch if you haven't already, with the Mask of the Burned Bridge, which was easier, but it didn't make it pleasant, naturally. So that's the Mask of the Burned Bridge there. I thank you very much for watching, and I'll talk to you next time.